Morning, my dear sister.
Well, good morning, sister. Every time we sign on, I feel like we're Catholic. I know we're Baptist, Pentecostal. I know that, but when we say
recovering.
sister, yeah.
I don't like snakes, so that's why I'm questionable
That's
Pentecostal.
true. Okay,
I'm not going to lie to you. But the Pentecostals do have a ton of fun.
Yeah,
and
we do.
So we like to raise our hands and be like, hey, it's me down here. But this is not this is not that. But I think it's because I said that I might sing this morning.
Oh, I'm trying to distract you.
Yeah, I know. But Terrance hasn't heard me sing. And I know that he's like, what? How did she not win the voice the other day? Again, time stamping this episode.
Move on fast so she doesn't get
a
chance.
So, that's okay.
First of all, I love to start these special episodes by saying, as Natalie and I say, we have a boy.
We have a boy.
We have a man. And we are
always a boy caregiver.
I know. Yes. And we're always so excited when we have someone that our audience loves first. And then Terrance is also in the midst of caregiving. And so you guys are going to love this episode. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about Terrance, and then we're going to jump right into the story. So today we have with us Terrence Hawthorne. And I'm going to say I made these assumptions, Terrance, after I read your bio. You are a man of faith. You are a man of family, and you are a man with a servant's heart that you've had throughout your life. He and his wife, LuCretia, of 23 years, they share a blended family of 7 children and 11 grandchildren, never boring at your house.
Nope.
And he said it best when he said he and LuCretia have always worked together as a team. In 2020, LuCretia suffered a brain aneurysm and multiple strokes with a 1% chance to live. But God still had a purpose, and it wasn't her time. Today, he is a full-time caregiver while on this road to recovery. He says he is honored to love his wife through it all, in sickness and in health. Terrance, we are so happy to have you here with us today.
Yeah, thank you. It's an honor.
Well, and everybody, this is great because everybody's like, oh, how do you know Terrance, Natalie? Which nobody ever asked me. But I'm going to tell you, I work with a colleague, and actually it's a family relative, and she said, you've got to meet my cousin's husband. And I was like, tell me more. And when I had the opportunity to get to chat with Terrance, I was like, oh, he's so good. Our listeners are going to love him. So
he's our people.
He is our people. And he is officially our honorary brother. We normally save that for the end to award that, Terrance, but we'll just put it right up front. So typically how we start is I always like to say, you were born, and then skip to the good part. But tell us a little bit about your story. And it feels like a love story because if we'll tell more about Terrance's stuff and what he does to support caregivers towards the end. But this is a love story, and you see it through and through in everything he touches.
Yes. First of all, thank you for allowing me to be on your platform to share our love story. True love story. I can say that, man. I get giddy every time I think about my wife. Every time I think about the relationship, it's amazing. When I first put my eyes on my wife, it was love at first sight. I can tell you that. It was something different about her. Mm-hmm. And it's a funny story because I met her at a salon, and there's a barbershop next door. My best friend works there. And I asked him, I said, hey, who's the young lady over there on the end? And he said, that's my boss. I said, that's your boss? He said, yeah, she's the owner of this place. And I'm like, really? This was 24 years ago, guys. And, so my wife always been a boss. She got out of college and started her own salon, her barbershop, and she's a cosmetologist and things like that. Yeah. And, we didn't talk about it much after that. And eventually he gave her my number, but he was reluctant to give it to her. Mm-hmm. He said, Creed, don't you mess this up. He said, Creed, no, this is a good dude, Creed. Don't you mess this up. This is a good dude. guys come in the salon all the time, want to talk to the ladies. I want to say something. But she said this one was different. She said he acted different. And she was intrigued about to find out what is it about this guy? He's so good. What is it about him? And because he never bring numbers to her. He never, none of that, because that's his sister, Yeah. But it was amazing. Our first conversation on the phone back then, we had the house phones back then, and
exactly.
We were on the phone. I had to be to work at 6:00, and I was on the phone with her till about 4:30 that morning. We had about a 6 hour conversation, our first conversation. And
Love
our
that.
first date was to church that Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's been like a dream ever since.
I love
It's
it.
been
Oh,
amazing. It's
I
been
love that.
amazing. Yeah.
I love that you went to church on your first date.
Oh
I
yeah.
remember those days. I remember those days when you talk to somebody that you like and you'd be on the phone for hours. I don't think young people do that anymore. I think they just text until they have carpal tunnel. And I'm like, you're missing the good stuff, which is the conversation that
I
happens and you get to
know.
know that. So,
Yeah.
I love that. Okay. Well, so fast forward, you guys get married, you're having life.
Are
and
you
then,
guys in Tampa or are you in
oh,
Alabama?
that's a good
Because I
point.
know
Good
there was a
question.
move and
Oh
then you've
yeah.
been in
You
Tampa
know,
now.
we're here in Tampa now.
Okay.
And when we met a year later, we got married. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It didn't take long. I mean, we was planning a wedding after 6 months. And I listen, a man know when he wants to marry you. It don't take 5 or 10 years to know.
Oh,
He know right
Uh-oh.
away if you is the one. And I knew she was the one. And
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
oh.
we got married. We relocated our family here in 2002. So we've been
Mm-hmm.
here in Tampa for 22 years.
Yeah.
Mm.
And life has been amazing, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So you're business owners there. You
Yes.
guys, I know you know, I looked over everything. You are vested in that community. You guys were. So you're business owners, you work for the union there. Our dad was a union worker. So supervisors do a lot with your church. Uh,
Yes.
you foster children. I think that was correct.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about, you guys are in the community. You're doing a lot. Tell me about your life
Well,
together.
that's a good question. Here's the thing. What I can say about my wife and I, we had a lot of seed in the ground. Let me say that.
That's a good way. Okay.
We planted a lot of seed, and that's why I believe we're reaping the harvest now. Because for years we've been a pillar in our community. For
Yeah.
years we've served the community, whether it was foster care kids coming
Yeah.
to the salon that my wife would mentor. She would
Yeah.
do their hair. She would give them makeovers.
Yeah.
Not only that, we will feed the homeless throughout the year. We will have a good holiday party for them and feed the homeless. And
Yeah.
and during Christmas we would play Secret Santa.
Oh my
This is
gosh.
the thing
Yeah.
we would do as a family, right? We'll be Secret Santa. We'll put gifts and things like that in a card, and we'll go around and just bless people. And we
Yeah.
play Secret Santa. And on top of that, my wife became a realtor. Finally, she became a real estate agent. And I was doing credit repair at the time, but I've been in the union now for 20 some years.
Yeah.
So that was my main job, but I was
Mm-hmm.
doing credit repair. My wife was a real estate agent. And so what we did is we wanted to help families learn more about financial literacy. Our job was to help break that generational curse, right?
Yes.
Creating a legacy within their family, becoming first-time homeowners. We did home buyers classes for free in the neighborhood, in the churches, in the community. We
Yeah.
did credit repair classes for free in the community, in the churches. We did all this stuff for free. My
Yeah.
wife is the type of person that, the government will give away 15, 20,000, $30,000 for first-time home buyers. She will go find the money for you, right?
Mm.
And most of the people that needed that, they had some challenges with their credit. But
Yeah.
my wife was the type of person that she will walk you through it. She will hold your hand. If it took 6 months, it didn't matter. It wasn't about the money because, as you know, and most real estate agents know, you only get 1% of those type of deals. And
Yeah.
most agents don't want to mess with it because they don't pay enough for them. But my
Yeah.
wife did it more, and her reason for doing it wasn't for the money. It
Yeah.
was to change lives. And that's what we
Exactly.
Mm.
did. And again, I tell people all the time, whatever you think of me, she's 10 times that much more. I promise you. She's taught me so much with a good heart. She the type of person that, you know how you ride up to a light or you go up to a light and you go to a intersection and you got the homeless there with the sign, they asking for food or they hungry or need something. My wife was the type of person that she will pull out $50, $100 and give to the homeless. And honestly, I was at the time, somebody say was, I was. I wasn't as compassionate. I was like, hold up, wait a minute. No, I just got out of work. They look like they healthy enough to go to work. I said, they look healthier than me. I'm like,
Hey,
wait a
we've
minute
all been
now.
guilty of it, Terrence.
We
We've been
have.
guilty of it.
Listen. And my wife stopped me in my tracks just to give you an idea of the type of person that we're dealing with. She will say, hold up, wait a minute. You don't know their story. You don't know what they've been through, why they're in that situation. Have you stopped for a moment to ask them why they in the situation they in? They could have lost their parents, they could have lost their spouse, they could have lost their
Oh,
child, they could have lost their retirement. You just don't know. I said, you're right. Yeah, I can't look at the outer appearance.
Yeah.
I said, you're right. I said, and my wife is a big person that on the heart. She's really big on the heart. She said, you got to get your heart right. And I was the type of person, I'm like, man, yeah, you're right. I have to look at things different. So she taught me a lot as it relates to compassion and how to look at things different. She's a giver. She's a person that, would give you the shirt off her back. And she taught me that. I give her flowers all the time because she's just that type of person. It don't matter how high she is or how much success she got. If you come from the back of the store or in the back of the kitchen, she treats you the same. If you're management or you're a person working in the back of the kitchen, that's just how she is. She treats everybody at that level of respect. And that's why I believe that God is pouring out so much love and so much grace in this journey. And man, God is amazing. I'm telling you.
Well,
that.
we can say amen to that for sure.
Yeah, I know. Terrance preaches. I love it. I need this
do
on a
too.
Thursday morning. I'm like, let's
I'm
go.
telling you. I like when we go to church.
I know.
So,
So everything is good. I want to say that actually everything is great, Terrance. And then, of course, we're in COVID. She's
Yes.
showing a house. So tell me about the moment that changes it all.
Well, like you said, the last few years has been the most challenging years of our life.
Yeah.
As you guys know, I told you, we've been in this love life for 20 some years, and it's been amazing. But we've always tackled everything as a team, but we never ever encountered this type of adversity.
Yeah.
So this adversity was different. Sickness came upon my wife. It's unfortunate because she didn't have no signs at all. As I said before, she's a real estate agent, and during COVID, the city opened back up, the state opened back up. She was excited. Oh man, I
Yeah.
can get back out. I'm a realtor. Let's go. So we get out. She had a couple showings in a walkthrough that day,
Yeah.
and she was fine. We went walking that morning. We was going to brunch that evening. And a couple that she wanted to bring, that she had to show the house to, I knew that couple. So I was going to let her go, because I normally don't let her go by herself. I always go with her. As a real estate agent, I don't let her walk through the houses and all that by herself. I'm with her because you got a lot of psychos out here, so I have to make sure I cover her and protect her at all costs.
Absolutely.
So, typical wife. She opened the door. Come on, go with me. Come on, go with me. I'm at home. I'm watching the game. Alabama was playing that morning on a Saturday morning.
we
and
won't
I'm like,
talk about Alabama and Tennessee. We'll leave the SEC out of it, Terrance. Okay. So I think we both know we need to leave Nick
We
Saban
got
out
priorities
of this.
though, Terrance. I hear you.
I
So
know.
you're watching the game.
We digress.
and,
Yeah.
and then she
Continue.
said, she gets smart with it. Talking about, you got the game on your phone. Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. So she leaves the door open and goes in the SUV and sits on the passenger side and cranks the vehicle up. And I got to get up because the door's open. And the car was, okay, you win. I get in the truck. I said, okay, let's go. I thank God I went with her, y'all.
Amen.
Because God knew that I had to be with her, for one. After the walkthrough and the showing, she took her girt off. She had to use the restroom, right?
Yeah.
And at that moment, everything was fine, but she said her stomach was hurting. That was it. And I said, well, you want to wait till we get where we're going? She said, no, that place look clean enough. So I made a U-turn and went over there. And I took her in there. I can say this. She wasn't in that long. It was maybe 1 minute or 2 minutes. And I text her. And I said, you okay? She didn't answer. I text her again. I said, you okay? She didn't answer. I said, okay, something not right. She always keep her phone with her. I called her. She didn't answer. Okay, I said, by that time I runs in there. I bam on the door. She still didn't answer. Okay, wait a minute. Something ain't right. I said, I need the key. My wife is in the restroom. And they was like, oh, sir, the lady has the key in the restroom. I said, you don't have an extra key? No, sir. Okay, well, you know what a husband gonna do. So
That's exactly right.
I kicked the door in, and she was sitting on the toilet. She set her phone down, and her eyes was bucked. And I'm telling you, I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know what.
Yeah.
By the time I stood her up, Her feet was like rubber. She couldn't stand. By the time I got her to the door, she was gasping for air and foam and everything was coming out of her mouth. It was the scariest moment of my life. She was pulling my shirt, ripping my shirt. I'm hollering for help. But the strangest thing about this moment is I can remember hollering for help and watching people run the other way. I'm like, I felt so helpless. And there was this one lady, she had to weigh about 90 pounds. And she had a broken arm. And she came, she said, she helped me. She grabbed me, she helped me get my wife to the ground. She called the dispatcher. They told her what to do. And she pumped my wife's heart because I was so hysterical. I was freaked out.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't, and they told her what to do. And she pumped her heart, and she got that second wind. And I'm telling you, everything happened so fast. 3 minutes later, the ambulance was there.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, the ambulance don't come right away. I'm sorry, it don't. We was 5 minutes away from the hospital. The doctor said she was minutes from death because the injury that she had, which was a hemorrhage rupture, it kills you immediately. 99.9% of the people that has it, they die instantly. But I'm gonna share this. The most interesting thing about this is she ended up in the coma, but she had 6 strokes as well. She had 3 on the right side, 3 on the left side, and the doctor told me if it wasn't for the strokes, it probably would have took her out. The strokes prevented the full damage of the hemorrhage rupture. God blocked it with the strokes. The strokes, it was a counteraction that took place.
Wow.
So it could not do the full damage that it was designed to do.
Yeah.
Hold that thought for a second. I know JJ and I have tears in our eyes because I'm right there with you, Terrence. We're going to take one quick break and we're going to come right back.
Okay.
I don't know about you, but my inbox is always cluttered with useless emails. But there's one I always open, the Confessions of a Reluctant Caregiver newsletter. You may say, Natalie, what makes yours so special? Well, I'm biased, but don't just take my word for it. Here's what our subscribers say they love. First, it comes once per month, and you can read it in under 5 minutes. Next, you'll find amazing tips and resources to use in your everyday life. And who doesn't love a recommendation? These sisters do, which is why we share sister-approved products and discount links to save you time and money. And of course, you're first to know about the upcoming month's confessions. Just like our show, you're guaranteed to relate, be inspired, leave with helpful tips and resources, and of course, laugh. Go to our website, confessionsofareluctantcaregiver.com, to sign up for our newsletter today.
Hey everybody, we're back here with Terrance Hawthorne, and we are at that point where the moment that everything changed. His wife has had an aneurysm, and they've gotten to the hospital, and we're at this pivotal point where
she's in a coma. So here's the thing. Question, Terrence. You find your wife. God had his hand on this, even though it is the worst thing that has probably happened in your entire life. He had his hand, he's still got you. And because for a lot of people, they could turn away. Right. And so you've gone in, you made the decision to go with her. You knew that how long she took. My husband would probably be the same way, gosh, she's taking too long. You know what I mean? There's that intuition. Right. And so you all get to the hospital. How long? So what's going on? She's in the hospital. She's in the coma. What's going on with you?
Whew. I literally blanked out. I was devastated because this is the love of my life that I'm watching going through a moment that you only see on TV. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, to be in that at that moment, I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. People had to check on me. And I kept telling them, I'm okay. You know, they was doing checks on me and making sure I ate something, making sure, because I had to come home without my wife. Remember, this was COVID.
Yeah.
It was a
Oh,
lot of restrictions.
that's right.
And I'm gonna tell you, my wife was in a coma for 3 days. And they kept telling me, Mr. Hawthorne, what are your wishes? What do you want to do? We're not hopeful she's gonna live. I'm sorry for your loss.
Oh,
Call your family, prepare for a funeral. And I told the doctor, I said, I'm not gonna receive that. I said, and I'm not gonna pull the plug on her, sir. And they kept convincing me to pull the plug on my wife. It's okay. Let her go. I said, listen, it's not my decision. It's God's decision. When he's ready for her, he'll call her home. I said, now, but they didn't understand that years ago, let me say this, years ago, me and my wife had conversations.
Okay.
I would say as couples, you should have these conversations.
yes.
My wife said, if I'm ever in a situation I'm fighting for my life, don't give up on me. Because God can do anything to bring anybody back. We talked about these things. Where I want to be buried at. Do I want to be cremated? Where I want to be over here. These things, these discussions that you have to have, a lot of people shy away from. But do I want to be in a nursing home if something happens? My wife, she don't want to be there, and I don't want to be there. I said, no, we got a home. The nurses is come here. So that's what people have to understand of what we're dealing with. So after all of that, they finally did the surgery. She woke up on the third day. On the third day. And just like somebody I know, on the
I was
third
thinking
day,
the same thing, my friend.
it's interesting how all that happened because the number 3 means a lot in this whole process. Because during the time when they had to get her out the ICU, after the surgery, it went well, but they still wasn't hopeful. My wife was on life support. She had 40% of oxygen. She needed help with the rest, right?
Yeah.
So she's on life support for 3 months. Now they gave me 3 places to take her that I could send her to for the rehabilitation, for the whatever she needed, the treatment. They gave me 2 places that was 5 or 10 minutes away from the house, and they gave me 1 place that was about 40 minutes away. God told me to pick that place, and they was confused. Why did you pick the place farthest away? I said, I don't know. I mean, that's what God told me. I get there, come to find out, that place specialized in getting people off the ventilator. The number 1 place in this region that specialized in getting people off the ventilator. I didn't know that, but God knew.
Mm-hmm.
They were so awesome. I watched them come in there and do breathing treatments on my wife every day. And mind you, we couldn't come in, but God had favor on my life. Because I told him, I said, listen, there's no way that my wife going to be in this facility and I can't come in. There's no way. I said, her life is dependent on it. I have to be there. She can't pick up a phone. She can't call me. She
Right.
can't get none of that. No, it's not happening. Well, sir, do you know it's COVID? Nobody's coming in. The state is shut down. I said, sir, I don't know what you got to do, but I'm telling you, there's no way. So now it's a funny story about this right quick.
Let me say this. That's spoken like a true caregiver. That's
Yes.
cute.
There's
I don't
no
care what the
way.
state says. That is spoken like a true caregiver. Keep going.
I'm telling you. So I told him, I said, listen, I said, whatever you got to do, you do it, sir. They were like, okay, Mr. Hawthorne. So they got back with me a couple of days later, and they said, Mr. Hawthorne, I've got your approval to come in the facility, but we have to add you to the staff, sir. I said, okay, whatever you got to do, we have to add you to the staff, and we have to give you a COVID test every week. I said, sir, whatever you got to do, you do it. You can give me a uniform if you want to, okay?
I'll clean the toilets practically is what I do if I
I'm
had to
here.
send my mom.
I'm
or
helping
something.
everybody.
Whatever.
So they had to call Tallahassee, talk to the powers that be, and God had his favor on it. And you got to understand, I get in there, I caused a little confusion with some other people that's in there. So the other people, they see me walk around the place. I'm in there with my wife every day. I'm changing around furniture. I'm changing the room around. I'm walking up and down the hallways. I'm doing everything. So the people, they put in a couple complaints.
That's okay.
Is this person visiting somebody here? They said no, he's staff.
She paying for a one-on-one, literally.
Yeah, they're like, I haven't seen my family in months, in a year. Is this person coming? No, he's staff. I was the only visitor that place has seen in a year. I'm in there every day. I went to work, y'all. Obviously, I had to keep going to work.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. She's doing this. How are you doing this? Because your husband, but at this point, you are transitioning into the dual role of husband and caregiver.
Do you guys still have kids? I know you've got family. Do you have any kids at home?
What's going on in the background?
I mean, what is going on?
Well, our kids are grown.
Okay.
So our kids are grown. So now I'm at home by myself now.
Yeah.
And we empty nesters at the time. You know, and sometimes they come back and go, you know how that go.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, at that time, we empty nesters. So I have to come home at night. Sometimes I would stay the night. They'll let me stay the night at the place too sometimes.
Yeah.
But sometimes I can look at her and she's sleeping well and I can hear her telling me, go home and lay down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'll sleep in that chair. I slept in a chair for years. In fact, I'm still sleeping on the let-out chair now downstairs. For the last 2-3 years, I've been sleeping on it. And I try to get massages as much as I can in my back because I'm working on renovating our garage as our master suite because all our bedrooms are upstairs. So we downstairs. And the dining room is now our bedroom, you know.
Yeah.
So I sleep in I'm a couch potato now.
So, and you're working at the same time. Now, because it's you, and I'm assuming you've got church family and loved ones that are trying to help you and support you, but you're working full time still and seeing your wife. Are you taking FMLA or what are you like? Are you thinking?
Do they know all this is going on?
Yeah, like what did your employers say?
Yeah. They knew. Yes, I was still working while she was in the facility.
Okay.
Full time. I still was working. And I was putting my papers in to leave because I knew she was scheduled to come home in a month or two or whatever. And they was concerned, and they was like, "Well, do you need counseling? Are you sure about this? And you need us to help you find a facility for her?" And I'm like, "No. She got a house. Why would I put her in a facility? Are you capable of doing this?" And I'm like, "Man, listen. My first job, my main duty is being a husband to my wife. That is my priority. That is my calling. That is my assignment, is to cover my wife, love her as Christ loved the church, right? And that's my priority. I'm not worried about anything else. God gonna take care of the rest, right? And I'm telling you, I transitioned pretty good. And I can remember when I walked away from my job and finally became a full-time caregiver, right? And I had a conversation with God. I said, okay, God, I'm going to take care of your daughter. I'm going to take care of my wife. But I need you, God, to take care of us. I need you to do it. I said, I never really had to believe him 100%. I know people say they have faith and they believe, but they still go to work. You still got to go to work. You still got to pay the bills. Not saying you don't have faith when you go to work. But what I'm saying is you got to have 100. Right now, it's like my wife not working. I'm not working. We got all these big bills. We got mortgages. We got a business. We got all kind of stuff that's happening. Every 30 days, these people don't care nothing about you being on a recovery journey, who got sick, who was sick. It doesn't matter. They want a payment every month.
Exactly.
That's right.
And I'm going to tell you, God has not failed us. I'm telling you right now, God has not failed us because obedience is better than sacrifice. And by my obedience, God has rewarded us tremendously. Every week, every other day, we get a beep. I get a beep. I get an email. I get a text. Somebody want to bless me. How can I bless you? How can I be a blessing? I can think about how in the beginning, I didn't have a wheelchair accessible van. And I needed transportation for my wife. She needed to go to doctors. She needed to go here. She needed to go to therapy. She needed to get this done. And I tried the public transportation thing, and I didn't have a good experience with that. And, they didn't show up, or when they came, they say they got 6 drops before they take my wife. I'm like, we got to sit on this thing for 6 other stops. And then I don't know, I can't, you're supposed to come pick me up at 2, but you arrive at 4 o'clock, and we sitting there waiting, and it was terrible. I
Yeah.
said, God, this ain't what you want for us.
Mm-hmm.
I need a van. And as you know, I don't know if any of you guys ever looked it up, but these vans are not cheap.
No, they're not.
Even the used ones are 30,000 and up.
Yep.
So guess what I did? I said, God, I'm gonna do a fundraiser, and God, I believe you're gonna send the people to help us get it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I did that, and it wasn't even 2 days. It wasn't 2 days, and everything I needed was there.
Yeah.
And I was able to get the van that we needed to transport my wife. And I'm honored for all our supporters, all the people that help us, all the people that support this journey. Because I take pride in being a 24-hour caregiver. I take pride in honoring my wife. I feel like that's the most ultimate job that you could ever have, is to fulfill your vows and be there for your spouse in a time of need.
So I'm going to pause this right there, because that is a good way to end this segment. It's so good. Like, it's just so good, because JJ and I, like, if you're not watching on video, you'll notice JJ and I lean in when we're really in it.
We're fighting, and
we go back and forth because we lean. And so, guys, we're going to take a break real quick. We'll be right back. Hey, ladies, I need to interrupt for just a second to share about the Sisterhood membership. It's basically a sale every day. And the best part, it's free. Here's the details. We're partnering with our friends at Benefit Hub and other care partners to save you money. With over 200,000 participating companies across the U.S. and abroad, you'll find discounts at your favorite local stores, huge savings on vacations, amazing deals on home, auto, and supplemental insurances, and everything in between. Go to confessionsofareluctantcaregiver.com to sign up, and then definitely tell your friends about it. They can join too. Trust me, there's a discount for everyone. And don't forget, it's free. Okay, back to confessing.
Hey, everybody. We are back here with Terrance Hawthorne, and we are talking about taking care of his wife. Proud to be a full-time caregiver. Natalie's leaning in, but I'm asking a question.
I'm ready.
I am taking charge. Terrance, you said something that really hits me, and you said, we've got to have a van. This really ultimately is going to change our life, basically. And you ask for help.
Yes.
How, for so many caregivers that are out there, how important is that? Because if you hadn't asked for that help, do people just roll out the red carpet and say, okay, here, let me help you? If you had not asked for that,
specifically,
and trusted that it would come specific, how important do you think that is for caregivers to say, I need help, this is what I need?
I think it's so important to be vocal, for one. Mm-hmm. I think it's so important to set your pride aside and accept the help that you need. Because it takes a village, y'all. And I have to realize that, a lot of us try to be saviors ourselves without the help of others. It takes a village. And I'm a firm believer that wherever there's provision, wherever there's vision, there's always provision. In other words, you have to see it. You have to believe it for it to manifest in your life. And I just believe that, I need to put her in a better situation to recover. I need to get all the tools necessary for her to recover.
Yeah.
To get her to these doctors, to get her to places, to engage her brain, to get her back out into life so she can indulge into life and be a part of what's going on around us, to do these things. She is not designed to be cooped up in the house, stayed in the house, isolated all day, every day, in the bed. No. So my job was to, I got to keep her involved. I got to keep her engaged. I got to show her some type of quality of life. I got to continue to love her through it all, right? I got to lay my pride aside and ask for the help that I need. And it's people out there every day that has a heart to give and want to help people.
Yes,
that's right.
I totally believe that.
And I'm telling you, man, you have not because you ask not, right? And I know a lot of us have heard a closed mouth don't get fed. And your why has to make you cry. My wife is my why, and she makes me cry every time I look at her. Your why has to make you cry. And I will go to the moon and back for her if I have to. So whatever I got to do, I'll do it to put her in a better situation. I'll do it. If I got to come out my comfort zone like I have lately, and if you guys don't believe it or not, my wife is a social media person.
Yes.
I was the one that was laid back. But you know what? I had to come out of that shell. I had to evolve. I had to, step in for her, right? Because you have to understand, when the enemy tried to take her voice, he didn't know that my voice was her voice. So I had to be the voice for the voiceless. And I had to be there to represent her. So that's why I'm so aggressive and vocal in everything that I do now. Because I'm not just doing it for me, I'm doing it for us.
I'll say this. I really respect the fact that you say I had to put my pride aside. I'm taking notes. JJ and I always take notes. We're like, okay, I love to lay my pride aside because you're right. It's like this mix of pride, and it doesn't matter if you're male or female, but I'm going to tell you, I'm sure that you have done some things to support your wife, especially around like the activities of daily living, all the cleaning stuff. I've cleaned my husband before, and
Right.
It was not something I thought, because there were every now and then it'd be in my head. I'd be like, Lord, now I'm going to do this. But I didn't expect it. Like, you're going to have to help me through this because I'm going to need the patience of Job to get through this.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
And so, I guess that's the thing. I saw one of your posts online that you were taking your wife and they were teaching you how to put her wig on. And
yes.
Because you are like people, I'm not talking about he just helping with bathing and stuff. No. I'm talking about he is making sure his wife, the highest level of respect and dignity is what you give her in the little things, in the minutia. And not every caregiver can do that. I'm going to tell you right now, Terrance, I didn't care how Jason's head looked. I just need to make sure that cancer was gone. But I'm telling you, but I always wanted him to look his best. I wanted him to feel, because there's so many things we can't control.
Right.
And what are the things that we can take back? And we know that person. You know your wife. Your wife is a beautiful woman. You a lucky man, my friend. She's a beautiful woman. And especially with her being in hair salon and she's a cosmetologist, you know what I mean? Like all that, I know. And she knew what she was doing because I've seen them pictures. Right. And so the fact that you said it's important to me because I know this is important to her speaks volumes.
Yes. I took it upon myself to learn how to apply wigs. So I took a wig tutorial class and I got some people helping me with that.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to go to the extreme, whatever it takes, because I believe that love gives the advantage and it never takes advantage, right? Mm-hmm. And it always puts you in a situation where you have to be there for your spouse no matter what the circumstances. It's like unconditional love. It has no conditions. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And so I'm willing to step out of my comfort zone. I'm willing to do them moments and do them things that people wouldn't normally do. But I find excitement and grace in it, right? Because God has gave me the grace to run this race. And I'm so excited and elated about being able to do this because I know somebody is getting blessed somewhere by this. And I can take you back a little bit when this first happened. And I asked God why. I did.
Yeah,
and I asked God why. And I don't normally question God, but I like to keep it real with God. I said, okay, God, why? Why this happened? Why her? She's an awesome person. Why her? There's so many people doing some crazy things out here. I know you didn't bring the sickness on her. I know you didn't, but I feel like you allowed it to happen. It's just me having an honest conversation with God. And he said, it's because I can trust you. I said, you can trust me? He said, yeah, because I can trust you. I can trust, for one, you're not going to denounce my name. I can trust, for two, you're not going to curse me. I can trust for another one that you're going to honor your wife. You're going to stand in your vows. You're going to be there by her side. You're going to be that forefront. You're going to be that poster child of sickness and health for me. I can trust that I can get the glory out of your story. I can trust that man, listen. And I said, okay, you can trust me. Okay, you can trust me. And I take pride in it. He's given me grace to run this race. Because a lot of people have asked me, how do you do it? How do you do it? How do you do it? It's not hard for me, guys. Honestly, it's not. I mean, I know people will say, oh man, you get burnt out, you get weary, you get discouraged, but I find my peace and my grace in her presence. I find my comfortability in her presence. It's almost like I know this, I know my assignment, I know my calling, I know why I'm here on this earth, and that is to cover her. That is to be by her side through it all. That is to honor my vows, every corners of my vows. I'm honored to do that. And people forget about that corner, that sickness and in health corner.
Yeah,
They think
that's the truth for him.
they thinking about all them other corners. We go on trips. We can have some fun. We go over here. We do the honeymoon. All this other stuff. What about that corner that's sickness and in health? I've honored every corner of my vows, and I'm honored to do it. And God has given me the grace to run this race, and that's how I do it.
I'm going to tell you right now. So we got a couple minutes left, and Jay, I want to do some sister questions, and I want to make sure we get a couple things in on this one. So Jay, you go first.
Sorry, I'm like, he brought something.
JJ got a little snot sandwich going on. Sorry, I can't see it. She got a little snot sandwich going on.
Oh my goodness, I've been like, oh my. Okay, so I do have a question. Watch, I'm like, I do have a question. So if you can't see Terrance, he is like decked out in gear.
He has got some sass on.
So because we want to talk about calling and why things happen, and you have to look at tell me about this foundation that you guys have created.
Yes.
Tell me about what is going on with your gear and how I can get involved with this, because I'm
Absolutely.
Yes, I'm telling you, I take pride in this. We are founders, y'all. We are founders. Mm-hmm. And God birthed, when they say there's purpose in your pain, God birthed this foundation out of our pain. It's caregiverslifestyle.org. Caregiverslifestyle.org. It's a Caregiver Lifestyle Foundation that was created through our story and our recovery journey. God gave me this vision a couple years ago, right? And the reason why I call it a lifestyle, because here's the thing, guys. Caregiving is a lifestyle. Everybody is caring for somebody.
That's
Everybody is loving on somebody. Everybody is, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So it's not a diet. It's not just something to do. It's a lifestyle. And when you treat it like a lifestyle, then love can endure all. So it has merch on there. You guys can purchase the merch. A portion of the proceeds goes back into the organization. You can also nominate a caregiver. You can subscribe. You can also, guys, on there, you can also donate. And if you want to be a sponsor, email me. You can send me the information, or you can just donate it to the organization, and everything is available and ready for you guys. I'm excited about this foundation.
Tell me about you guys. You pick a caregiver each month. Is that kind of, you do sponsorships for caregivers? That's I want y'all to know, like, this is what your donation goes for. It's like you guys do that, which is so amazing to me.
Yes, we choose a caregiver every month, different states, right? And we want to honor them. We want to give them that much needed mental break that they need. We want to give them that much needed push. You got to understand, as a caregiver, you probably need that little extra push to get you to that next month or that next year, right? So we want to create a care package. That's what we're doing. We're going to create a care package. It's going to have great things in it. It's going to have massage coupons, hairdo coupons, gear is going to be in there. We're going to present them a plaque as well, guys. And at the end of the year, we pick a caregiver of the year and we honor them. And my goal is to bring sponsors on so we can find vehicles for people that needed vehicles just like me. My goal is to give somebody that 3-month experience, guys. I want to give somebody that 3-month experience. I told you guys about the number 3. So I have a caregiver lifestyle special. And I want to get to that point. I want to pay somebody utilities for 3 months. I want to give them that caregiver lifestyle experience. So it's going to be a nice package that's going to change their life.
Oh, I love that.
You got it. I mean, I'm like, I get excited. I'm like, yes, I love to reward caregivers.
I'm
like,
very
yes.
excited. I think, well, and I think, you know what, you've taken your pain and made it a blessing to other people. And, you know, he asked us to stay true and to you got to trust me. And I didn't have you walk his path for no reason. Right. And it's really, and that's how I feel about it. And that's why we created the podcast. It's, what are you going to do with this experience? You can do nothing with it, or you can take it. And nobody says you have to go do a podcast or create a foundation, but it just says, it's just, if you don't, in my mind, if you don't do something with it, even internally for yourself, and you make a change for that, you've missed the message.
Exactly.
You just missed the message. Okay. I have my last question, and then we're going to go to after the confession, because there's some more to ask. Okay. So, Terrance, what is your favorite guilty pleasure? It's my favorite question. What is the one thing that you do just for yourself?
I'm a sports fanatic, right? I love to watch sports. Okay. And that's kind of how I get away from, I wouldn't say society, but I watch sports a lot, right? And you know, I used to eat the sweets. I got off of that. So now I'm in this pescatarian mode now, where I'm doing pescatarian now. I'm trying that, and I feel a lot better. Honestly, I do.
You will. Me too.
As a full-time caregiver, you have to really be careful with certain things, because now you got to change the way you eat. You got to change the way you do things. And so I'm on a different journey now with that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I don't know. I feel guilty when I'm doing anything without my wife. Let's just say that.
Favorite sports team?
Huh?
Who's your favorite sports team? What are you watching?
Besides Alabama.
Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys. And Alabama, Roll Tide is my favorite.
Oh my goodness. I don't even.
So you're all football is what we're saying.
I feel like you also probably subscribe to Jermaine the Funny Man. I think we know who he is. Jermaine, you know what I'm talking about? Jermaine the Funny Man. If you haven't watched him, he's comedian, but he does all the Alabama breakdown. Anyway, we digress. We will continue this conversation. And after the confession, guys, Terrance, thank you so much for blessing us today. I love this.
It was a pleasure. Anytime, ladies. Anytime.
Absolutely. Guys, thank you for listening in, and make sure you check out After the Confession. We've got more to share. Thanks so much. Till we confess again. See you next time.
Bye-bye.